Oh, I'm just talking nonsense. Just ignore me. We should even be recording this today.
Sounds like the perfect day to record.
I'm an absolute disaster of a human being right now.
Perfect. It's just a shame we aren't doing buyer's remorse.
Oh, today. God. Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to Filling in the Gaps. I'm Justin.
I'm Darren, barely.
No, I'm definitely going to have to use that bit from before. This is our year-end wrap-up. Just talk about how the year went and maybe a bit of plans for the future. And mostly just as a time to say thank you. We don't stop to do that a whole lot during the year. So we do it now.
Thank you. All right, the end. That's a wrap.
Just so you know, Darren is in a hurry. He has a plan later. So we will kind of push through this one. But that's fine. I don't think we have that much to talk about. It's been a good year. One thing that I do want to talk about that leads also into the future is very early on in the year, we donated a bonus episode where we talked about the movie Clue. We donated that to the Project for Awesome, which is something that happens every year. It's going to be happening again in 2023, I believe the weekend of the 17th, February 17th next year. And we're hoping to put another one in that one. It's something that we can do for charity, which is just nice and easy. And if it helps, great.
Yeah, it's good fun as well. That was a fun episode.
Yeah, getting to just talk about a movie we like that doesn't really necessarily have to fit the podcast is good. It's the kind of conversation we would normally be having, but right now with our schedules, this is kind of all we have time for. So it's nice to set aside a bit of time for that as well. But it did a great thing for us where it finally got us over that 100 mark. And now we're at, I think, like 164 subscribers, which is fantastic. Even on SoundCloud, which I always say we should move away from, and I just need to do it. Just because there are just so many better places for podcast hosting. Mm. But even there, our numbers are up a bit. And we had a couple people comment saying, hey, I don't have your podcast on such and such podcatcher. And so that was actually a pretty easy thing to fix. Apple being the tricky one, but that's just because of where we are. Mm. But that was fantastic. It was great to do that and to claim our YouTube URL, the easier / filling in the gaps that I wanted since the day one.
YouTube.com RXTY7295 #J.
I would be really impressed if that was that. And I think just amazingly that we did get it, because recently, any of you that have a YouTube channel, they've probably said, oh, now we have YouTube handles, which is basically, I think, the same thing. Mm-hmm. And they were going to do it by channel name. And, well, guess what? There's more than one Filling in the Gaps out there, which is why I was in such a push to get our URL. So I'm glad we got it before that became just sort of everybody gets it.
Yeah. So
for me, that was probably the highlight of the year. As far as you recently celebrated your 1-year Twitch-iversary.
Twitch-iversary, yeah. That was good fun. Well, it wasn't, because I did this stupidly late stream where I streamed for like 15 hours and it was a bit of a mess. It got messy towards the end, but yeah, it was good fun. It was good fun.
Yeah, I did not stay for that part.
Well, you didn't stay for my hot tub stream?
No, I missed that part. In that stream, you were doing Telltale Back to the Future, where you're throwing a lot of Back to the Future facts that I already know. So I was kind of like, get back to the game. But I think everybody else was enjoying it. And certainly the game is very Telltale, but old Telltale.
Yeah, old
Before
Telltale.
The Doc Brown will remember this kind of choices.
Yeah. Doc Brown will remember that. Get out of here.
But definitely some very weird stuff going on. But I enjoyed that. I thought that was quite good. But the big thing for me was your Cringe Fest, where you showed a slideshow of old pictures of yourself, which was fantastic.
That's pretty bad.
Of course, I missed out on it, but luckily at that point we could still watch videos here.
Yes, yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, which that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, it's for another episode maybe.
But it has been quite a year. you asked me for this episode to think of maybe what was my favorite episode over the year, which is a great chance to just scan through the page, scan through the calendar, and go, oh yeah, we did do all of this stuff this year.
I was looking through it going, oh, that was this year? Wow, yeah. Yeah, it was a good year.
So I think for me, it's a tough choice because there's definitely some good ones. Definitely some that were like movies I didn't like.
Yeah.
There were a ton of those. I was looking at that going, boy, I was pretty grumpy this year. I must have been, because there are like 3 or 4 of them where I know I just didn't really enjoy the content, the movie or the game that we were talking about. I mean, let's not forget this is the year that I played Edith Finch.
Best game ever. Yeah.
I think as far as game, that was probably the toughest one to choose among. I think Inscription probably would win out.
That's what I wrote down for mine. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just so amazing. And we got in on it early and everything about that just felt good. If we had to do one where we're not picking the same one, then I'd probably go with We Were Here Forever.
Right, yeah. I thought you might choose that one. For games, I went with Inscription was my top one. And, well, of course, Edith Finch was my next one. Because Edith Finch is a masterpiece.
I still don't understand, but I'm glad you like it. As far as videos, though, that we did, I think Your Box One is probably the best video.
I wrote that down as well. That was the first one and that was like in January, wasn't it? You know?
You basically probably made it at the end of December, so it'd be ready to go at the beginning of January. But I just love that it was a different style. I love the way that you were talking about things. You basically were listening to the podcast and then holding out the cards and the things as they came up.
A different format for a video, and it was just like, I edited the audio and then I played it back through earphones and then I set up. It was really lo-fi. I had my phone like piled up on a bunch of boxes over the top, and I had these like markers on the ground where I knew my hands couldn't go out of. So it was like contained. So I had these like lines drawn. It's like, okay, this is the space that I've got to work in. And then, I just listened to it and then showed it as we went along, which was, I don't know. It was a fun episode to edit and put together.
It was also just something so completely different content-wise than what we've done before. This is a tabletop escape room puzzle box for one. In and of itself is something very special and unique. And then getting to actually show that stuff, I thought just worked really well.
Yeah, it was good fun.
As far as movies, I'd probably lean toward Strawberry Mansion. I think that that's probably the most interesting, the most fun movie that we had. There are definitely a lot in here that I enjoyed and some that I just didn't, but I felt were worth talking about.
Well, you've just named my... I said, okay, Justin, I'm going to pick 3 so that we don't step on each other's toes. Mine's are Box One, Inscription, and Strawberry Mansion. And if anything, the one thing that I loved about Strawberry Mansion, that was when you started getting into your fiddling around with title cards. And I think Strawberry Mansion is like your best title card that you've done so far, man. That is just so on the nose. It's perfect.
Well, thank you.
Because you sent me that. You're like, what do you think of this? And I was like, oh, man, that's amazing.
That is something I do want to play around with more. I keep saying that, but I think this year I'm going to have to make it a goal, is to go through especially some of those first maybe 10, 12 episodes we did.
Yeah, Talos Principle. Talos Principle deserves a better title card than that garbage we've got for it right now.
So that is definitely for me. That's one of the goals for the new year, is to maybe do that. Another goal I think that maybe we should have is to get back more into doing some more curator reviews, not necessarily taking the games that people send us. So we do, as curators on Steam, we do occasionally get offered a copy, usually of some sort of puzzle box game. Actually, it's about 90% of them are Sokuban, which
Or we got like a slew of those like hentai games, man. It's like, hey, this would be good for your channel. It's like, no, won't.
Have you seen our channel?
Yeah.
I mean, I even age-gated Enter the Void, which is why it only has like 6 views, I think. It's like, you do that. I know now that's the death knell of any video, but...
Oh yeah, don't put a 19 or 18 on anything, yeah.
But I don't regret it, because that movie, there's no safe way to really talk about it. At least I felt.
No, you certainly don't want some kid going, hey, let's go to Blockbuster and rent Into the Void, Mum.
Yeah.
These guys on the internet told me it was really weird.
One thing I do want to cover, just while we're talking about our year, is just our year in review. Because YouTube creators, that channels or group, whatever they are, they sent us an email with our 2022 snapshot. And some of it actually looks okay. Like total views, 9,665. We're very close to having a 10K year, maybe next year. Watch time in minutes. I hate that they do it in minutes so much. It's 33.3K.
So maths that for me then. What's that in hours?
I did look it up. I think it's 555.
Okay.
Which means to ever start making money on YouTube, we're going to have to do like
3 times that?
It's more like 8 or 9.
Oh, Jesus. I thought it was like 1,000 hours or something.
It's 10,000 hours.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. They've added something else. If we want to really get into the shorts market, maybe we could do that. But that's into like get 10 million of those watched. I don't know. I don't know that we've got it in us.
Time for more hot stream tubs.
Maybe.
Hot stream tubs? Time for more hot tub streams.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm sure that's what brought people in. I'm going to say probably more of a remorse thing.
Yeah.
We've done a couple of those. I've got a couple in line we could do for that. But over the year, this is what I was talking about. 48 new subscribers. That was a huge thing for us. And so if you're one of them, thank you for joining in. And to the rest of you, thanks for staying around. One thing I would like, here would be my push for this year. It's not so much, I mean, as always, please tell your friends if you think they'd be interested. That's how we grow, by word of mouth. But total likes, 145. So that means we have less likes than we have subscribers.
Yeah. Although,
and I know that it's only a handful that are giving us this 145.
Yeah, it's like the same 10 people.
Which we appreciate you so much.
Yeah, but I'm the same. I mean, how often do you like a video on YouTube?
I do it all the time.
You do it all the time?
Yeah.
Oh, I never do it. I almost never do it.
No, I do it all the time. I don't dislike often.
Something that's really bad. Like if it's something I disagree with or whatever, I don't downvote because I dislike or disagree. But if it's like harmful or like really bad content that deserves to be removed from YouTube, then I'll thumb it down.
Clickbaity stuff is the stuff that usually gets me.
Yeah.
This is not what you told me it was going to be. And again, kind of rare. I don't get a lot of that.
Yeah.
Luckily now these days.
Yeah, but I'm just too lazy, man. I mean, all you got to do is click on the thing. But I'm like, I should do it more often because it might help me with my algorithm. Because now my daughter's taking over my YouTube account. It's like I've got like just a bunch of weird, like I don't know, I don't even know what they call it nowadays, man. These kids nowadays, man. It's like, what's it called? Like,
no, but you're talking literal kids, yeah.
Like weird. She's like, hey, Daddy, do you know what weirdcore is? I was like, what the hell is weirdcore? This is a genre now of music. Weirdcore. Did you ever heard of that?
No.
Nope. No, that's my YouTube feed now.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I should battle back against that and start thumbing up all the stuff that I like.
Listen, just so you know, I recommended he just start a new account because I think his algorithm is gone.
It's a mess.
He just needs to give that account to his daughter and start a new one.
Honestly, if the FBI took over my computer and was like, all right, let's see what he's watching on YouTube, they would be like, what the hell is going on with this guy? It's like, this guy's on our watch list right now. Just gacha life, weirdcore, and then metal.
He has the taste of a middle grade schoolgirl.
A schoolgirl, yeah. Oh man.
The other thing I want to point out is our top viewed videos of the year.
Oh god. Oh no.
Take a guess. What are our top 3? I bet you can guess it.
Threads.
That is number 2.
Okay. Is it still Talos Principle?
No. Talos Principle has been knocked off the top tier. It's not even top 3 this year.
Okay, what's top 1? Oh, what's number 3 then?
Well, take a wild guess what number 3 is. If Threads is number 2, what's number 3?
What was the name of that film? The one with the cowboys.
The Cowboys?
Yeah, the weird 70s psychedelic cowboys. The Spanish film.
No.
What was that called?
El Topo.
El Topo. Is that not?
No, that it's climbing the charts. I'll give it that.
Okay.
For the year, as far as like new content, that is one of our top ones.
Right.
But it kind of is talking overall.
Overall. I've got no idea. Go on, hit me with it. What is it?
All right. Well, number 3 is Bad Boy Bubby.
Oh, man. See, I've got two.
You should have got that one.
2 of them now. Yeah.
Number 2 is Threads, which, side note, I need to put a pinned message at the top because we keep getting... It's our most interacted with video ever. We even had one guy, I don't know if we talked about this before, but one guy who was commenting as he was watching.
Just hate watching us, man.
Yeah. It was about every 5 minutes. You could tell where he was in the video by what he was commenting on. And
eventually he just gives up. He's like, I can't watch this anymore.
Yeah. I was like, oh, what a shame. Because you would drive our numbers up because of the amount of interaction we were getting. Yeah, so there are a few things we didn't get right because we're not experts in Threads, nor do I want to be. But there are a few things like the girl in the newspaper shop is Jimmy's sister.
Because that's really important to the plot, Justin.
Well, it's really important to a lot of people. I think because I said I don't know who she is and it seems random. Okay. And that's fair. I still don't think anybody's explained the thing that I really want to know is why they were writing stuff on each newspaper. But that's the thing I really... Please fill in that gap. That's the one I want.
I think I said that when they're not writing addresses. That's what they used to do in the paper shop, was write the address so that the paperboy could deliver the newspapers.
Yeah, I guess so. But
because we used to have our address written on our newspaper when it got delivered.
That must have been it then. Yeah, I just had to memorize all the addresses and know where they went. I had a route. Or
maybe they'd have it by street, so they'd be like, okay, these are all the papers for the street or something like that. But yeah, we used to have our addresses written on it. It would be like 12 Richmond Hill or whatever.
Okay. There's some other interesting facts in there, so I'm probably going to put a pinned message with, here are some of the things, so that any new people who come, because people still come to that one, it's our most interacted with video, so it's the one that YouTube must be pushing the most.
It's like, hey, watch this. We think you'll be interested in this.
Outside of The Force Awakens Part 2.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah. I think there are a couple of things that are helping it out. One, it just looks like stars, so nobody knows what it is. But this is another one where India and Natak have hit this one. So for some reason, it went from Black Watchman now over to not Part 1, but Force Awakens Part 2. One of our earliest episodes that was so long we had to break it into 2 parts.
That was a monster. That was a monster episode, man. Yeah. Yeah, not bad. So the top ones are all for films then. Maybe we should just start talking about films and not games anymore.
No. Here's the difference. Those have about 5 seconds of interaction most of the time because people are actually just looking for the movie.
Yeah. Oh, The Force Awakens. I really want to see this. Why?
Same with El Topo.
Yeah.
El Topo, it is a huge spike right at the beginning. People giving up after about 5 seconds because I think they're just looking for the movie. And
to be fair, if there's one movie that's going to be on the internet, it's probably El Topo as well, isn't it? It probably already exists on YouTube.
I'm sure it probably does. But that's been kind of our year. Definitely enjoyable. Definitely encourages me, at least, to want to keep going. We have our next few episodes. We're definitely COVID stuff this year and some other stuff.
Me stuff this year. I'm stupidly busy at the moment. But
Darren has, do you mind?
Yeah, go for it.
Darren has begun a master's program online, and that takes a lot of time. And so there have just been a number of weeks where he just couldn't. He had a paper due, a project due, and that's totally fine. I understand. But our once great buffer, along with like quarantine stuff, is shrinking constantly. So it's something we're going to have to be kind of a bit more on top of next year. But we're still okay. The 3 things that I would recommend people check out for early 2023 would be Gomo.
Yep.
A fun point-and-click game. Gorogoa.
Eventually.
Which might make it in, we say, because pulling the curtain aside, Gorogoa was supposed to come out about 6 months ago, but every time it was set to come out, that's when we had a timely episode
Yeah, so, oh, we were here is out. Okay,
Yeah.
Gomo. Oh, no, sorry. Gorogoa, you're bumped.
Oh, The Past Within is out. Oh,
Sorry,
Gorogoa,
Gorogoa.
you're out again. So
Why is it always Gorogoa?
it just is coincidentally. And it doesn't really, I mean, a lot of our stuff doesn't affect the next episode, so it can be moved.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get weird if it gets much further, though, because we're probably going to say in there what we had just recorded the week before or something, which will not be true.
Yeah. Hey, we've just finished recording our Steam summer sale video.
Probably. So I'm going to try to make it a point to get Gorogoa out early next year so that it doesn't keep getting pushed back.
So that we can bump something else instead.
The first movie I believe we're going to talk about is Synchronic.
Yep.
Which is from the same creative team that made Resolution and The Endless. It is definitely worth watching, and it was a good episode to record.
Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah.
Well, except for some technical stuff because of your neighbors, but...
Oh, yeah, that was the day.
We'll get into that in that episode. I still have to edit that one, and I do not look forward to that one. It's going to be an absolute
nightmare. It's going to be horrible.
I think it's going to be a 1 hour episode that it took us 2 hours to record.
Yeah.
If that gives you an idea. But that's pretty much it. I think that's what we have looking forward to. Our plan is to keep going. You're going to keep streaming.
Like we said, with the Masters and with the job and stuff like that, it's like streaming now is the only way I actually get to play games anymore. So
it's almost like that allows you to have your time to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you've committed to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, too, though, one thing that I know as I'm working on my Steam picks for winter, I haven't really... I meant to write down all the games I played this year, and I didn't really. I started off really well in, like, January, but then after that, I sort of forgot to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, looking back, I don't really feel like I got to a lot of games this year.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
I think that you have, though. And I think that the stream has helped push you because there are a lot of things that you were trying just for the stream.
Yeah, I used to keep, when I say not really for me either, because I used to keep a really good list. I used to have like a Microsoft Word file, but it was only for games that I completed. It's rare that I complete games nowadays.
You try a lot more, though.
Yeah. I'll be completing Dead Space soon, hopefully. I'm on chapter 10.
Do you know how many chapters there are?
How many?
I don't know. That's what I was asking.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know. I must be close to the end. I've got to be close. Please, I hope. There's only so much of that horror that I can take. Just like opening a box and there's a guy behind me just stabbing me in the head. Yeah, just falling out of my chair almost, you know?
But with that, though, I think it's just time to sort of wrap up our wrap-up and say, whatever holidays you celebrate around this time of year, happy holidays. And please, spread the word. If you think people will like this podcast, let them know. But for you, dear listeners, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for continuing to be with us on this journey and listening to us for, I guess, 555 hours this year, which to me seems like a lot.
It's a lot of Force Awakens. That should be our new,
at 30 seconds at a time.
Our new measurement of watch time should be that's 100 Force Awakens.
All right, maybe.
Yeah, me too. I just want to say thank you as well. Thanks for watching the YouTube channel. Thanks for coming in and hanging out on Twitch, because otherwise it would just be me, a bald guy on the internet, talking to myself, playing games badly. So, yeah, I appreciate that a lot. So, yeah, thank you very much.
See you in 2023.
Mm-hmm. Gaps filled, the more gaps created. Are we saying that for this?
Yes.
Okay.
You say that every
year. Gaps filled.
No.
Or more what?
Don't you want to do a thank you here?
Oh, yeah.